She's full. What a great sight. About 2 days after we finished construction, we got 2 inches of rainfall, and it filled this thing in to the brim, and it's even overflowing. We're going to take a look at the spillway. We got a little bit of fine grading left to do out here. We actually are going to adjust our spillway height a little bit, but let's walk around this thing and show you how it finally played out. But it's full, and it's already starting to settle out a little bit, and we need to get some grass coverage on these side slopes because it's a mud hole right now. But way too wet, way too muddy to do anything at the moment, but we'll get some ryegrass put down the next week or so, start stabilizing everything. But let's go take a look at this thing. I'm happy, it's full. Great example of what I'm talking about. Even just one pass of the side-by-side left a deep rut. So it's way too muddy to be out here doing any grading. So we're gonna bring the box blade in here with Dad's tractor and level all this out, smooth it all out. Probably will come around and back drag with the bucket to help smooth out some of these banks. That heavy rainfall started washing the side slopes. You can see the water washed in there. So what we're gonna try to do is button all that up with Dad's tractor and to get everything seated. We got a bunch of straw, and I might even get a roll of matting to help button up some of these steep slopes, but we gotta get some stabilization so we don't keep washing out our banks. I mentioned it in one of the previous videos of how our spillway is set up. We don't actually have a standpipe or a horizontal pipe. It's more of a swale that leaves at the same elevation that the swale comes in off this field. So the swale comes in, dumps in, very similar elevation up there, comes through here, and then discharges at the same elevation. We may put a pipe in here, and using the huge pile of dirt we have, we may put a pipe in here and actually raise this guy up and put another foot of water on here. As of right now, we're about 6 inches low. That orange marker was the original water level. So we're 6 inches low right now. And the plan would be to drop a pipe in here, fill this up, probably, recess the pipe, and then fill it up probably to a foot higher than it was originally. So we'll gain 6 inches and may even take it another 12 inches if we can, because we've got plenty of side slope we want to hide, and we've got plenty of freeboard over here at the dock. You can tell that mud line is where the original water level was. So we're at least 6 inches low, and we have plenty of room to take it a foot higher. That might back water up the swale a little bit, so we'll have to be careful about that. But otherwise, I think we can raise the pond almost a foot higher than it was originally. That'll give us that much more volume to pump out of and that much more surface area. Over here on the opposite side, another example of where the water is washing these reels in. So we're losing bank, and we're also already sedimenting in our pond. So we definitely want to stop that as soon as we can. So we'll get all this stabilized with some grass cover, and it should head that off. They laid these slopes back nice. This is about a 3-to-1, I would say. Not very steep, but as you come around some of these sides, it gets almost vertical. That's vertical here in front of me, and that's probably a 1-to-1. I don't know if we've got quite enough room to lay it back with the tractor, but we'll definitely get it stabilized. But if I take the implement off, I might can reach the bucket down and back drag this a little bit to smooth it out. But right now it's way too muddy, so it's gonna have to do a lot of drying before we can button up some of this stuff. This peninsula played out just like we wanted. We wanted to have a little bit of a protrusion out here to where if we had kids down here and we actually can get some fish going, that people could fish off of all 3 sides. So all could be out here together, fishing from all 3 sides. Before, we only fished off the dock, and it was just too narrow for more than 1 or 2 people to fish. So the peninsula played out really nicely. I got a sick, tired, sweet boy coming to join me, and he is happy. He doesn't show it, but he's happy. He wanted to see this pond full so bad. This runoff swale at the upper end is still running. You can tell how much water is saturated into the ground. It's still trickling in here and running. And that's why you saw the water discharging over there at the outlet end. But I think if we drop a pipe, raise the spillway, and raise this whole thing about 12 to 18 inches, somewhere in there, I'm not exactly sure, from where it is now, it's going to look a lot better because you're going to hide about half of that bank, and you're going to hide about half of that half of that fishing dock right there will be underwater. And I think it'll look a lot cleaner and smoother if we let this thing come on up another 12 to 15 inches. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah. Thanks, Papa.
Thanks, Papa. Oh, you're a sweet boy. Yes, thank you, Papa. So Papa built the pond, or paid to build the pond, And as always, lets us have free reign out here, and we really appreciate it. Pond project is a success by my standard, and I am qualified if you know my background. So we got a lot of stabilization to do, some minor adjustments, some fine grading, but the big picture stuff is done. Big iron is out of here, so the big equipment's done. All the cleanup will be done with Dad's tractor and loader. We may get a mini in here at some point if the tractor is just not working out for cleaning up some of these banks. But, you know, we didn't expect the contractor to do a whole lot of fine grading. That really wasn't part of the deal. So we may do some more cleanup out here, may get a mini out here. If we do, I'll certainly do another update video. But for now, we got a pond. Appreciate you guys watching. We're out.